Kenneth E. Starling, United States Army.
When did you enlist into the Vietnam War?
February of 1968.
Did you believe that communism was a threat to American sovereignty?
Yes, I did. Being a high school history nut, yes, communism was bad. Red was bad, blue was right on.
Why did you decide to enlist?
At the time, I was offered a partial football scholarship, and my parents would have to pay for me to start the school, and I had to make the grades and the team the first semester, and I thought that was a crapshoot. So, military at the time had educational benefits, and that was one of the main reasons why I enlisted at first.
How did your family react to your involvement in the war?
They was cool. The military address system, you never know where people are going because of the address. You may be in a foreign country, but you got an APO address or FPO address. APO if you're on the East Coast, FPO address if you're on the West Coast. So when they first left home, they didn't know where I was. And my sister once said that, you ain't in no Vietnam. You ain't in not with no LPO address. What's your address? So.
Were you concerned about the possibility of dying?
No. My mother prepared me for that when I enlisted. I know you're looking at me strange, like your mother prepared you for that. She told me, you know they're dying in the war, don't you? Yeah, Mom, She said, well, ain't nothing gonna happen to you anyway. Till time comes for anything to happen to you. That's assuring, Mom.
Do you have any favorite memories?
Yes. The first week I enlisted, we went to school to determine what be our MOS, which would be our military job, which is a formality everybody enlisted in the military goes through. And I remember the first night listening to some of the guys that were re-enlisted for the second time, had already been to war and got out because, they didn't want to stay in the military. But when they got out and saw like there was no jobs, there was anything to do, they decided, well, I had it made when I was in the military, I'm going to go back in. And they telling war stories and stuff. And I remember first night in the barracks, I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?
If you could change the past, do you think your life would be any different if you hadn't gone to war?
I hate to speculate on that. You can think about that until you blow it. But my military career was really rewarding. A lot of things I learned that I don't think I would have learned at such a young age if I hadn't went to the war. And hate to think of what difference would have made if I had not made that decision. But I like what have happened to me over the years after I did make that decision. And the way I feel about my government and my country now, all of it dates back to when I was in the military.
Who do you think won the Vietnam War?
Okay, we can break that down two ways. First, I would say there was no winner because both sides lost heavily, in lives, material, and I mean, even today, there's a big hole missing with all the people that never came back and stuff. But it's the same way on the other side. I mean, the reason why I wanted to break it down into two steps, like if you was think about a numerical advantage, who really won, we won because every battle we went into, we were, superior firepower, and we kicked their butts. I don't know if I can say that, but as far as that being a clear-cut winner loser, there was no winner.
Was your opinion of President Johnson affected by his decision to escalate America's involvement through the ground troops and bombing?
No. Johnson escalated the bombing gave all the troops in Vietnam hope. Because, this going to shorten the war. Because, you're blowing everything up. And pretty soon there's not going to be anything left. And the bombing that was going on, it was going on in the north. And they were really putting a squeeze on them, a hurt on them and stuff, in just a matter of time before, they came to the peace table. But his bombing is what really set everything in step to, end the war. And plus it saved a lot of lives, too, because at first, the bombing they wasn't hitting anything. Like I said, they'd go out and they'd bomb 2 or 3 goats up under a tree and come back and say, But when Johnson started I couldn't name the name of somebody, Rolling Thunder, for instance, where he said all these planes, 24 hours, nothing but planes. How can you live on the ground with bombs falling on your head for 24 hours, That'll make you want to come to the peace table.
Did your experiences abroad affect your opinion on America's future efforts to contain communism?
My feeling about America has never waned. Like Ford saying, greatest country. If you live in another country and you see what system they have to go through, or see what they have to go through, but then you really appreciate everything about America when you come back and you struggle. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You always got a 100% possibility of coming out on the good side if you keep persevering. That sounds like Forrest Gump, endeavor to persevere.
Good job.